Hey everybody, it's Kate, the West Coast Paper Crafter. Tonight I really wanted to go live with you all, but the internet is not cooperating with me. I'm on a work trip and I am in my hotel room and I just couldn't get the internet connection to be stable. So this is a pre-recorded video. I do hope you like tonight's project, and next week I will be back live. So here's a very quick peek of my hotel room. Not too exciting. And I will tell you, when I put the phone in the phone holder, it's going to be a little bit tricky because this is my backup phone holder, and it's a little bit finicky. So I'm going to flip the camera around. You can see what I'm talking about. It's a gooseneck, so I'm going to put the phone in and hopefully not make everybody dizzy while I'm doing that. Okay, looks good. So when I go on work trips, I like to bring a paper pumpkin with me. It's, oops, I'm just moving my computer around. It's super handy and it's portable, and I've got everything I need in it. So tonight, this project I've stuffed in here along with all the things that I'm going to use when I put together my paper pumpkin. So I'm not going to do that tonight because tonight I've got a different project to share. So let's get started. We have a black card base, and this is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4 on the 8.5 inch side. I have got a piece of Shamrock, and this is 5 1/4 by 3 1/4. A piece of the Shamrock in color designer series paper. It's 5 by 3. And I have another square of Shamrock, and this is 3 by 3. A black square, 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. And then I have some white pieces that we will add to the card, but just because I knew I was traveling, I've already pre-stamped and got those ready. So we're just going to put the card together first, and then I'll show you all the other pieces. So to start out, I'm just going to glue my designer series paper onto my Shamrock layer. Honestly, everybody, I am so disappointed I couldn't get the internet to work. I really wanted to go live tonight. I don't get to have a hotel room to myself very often, so it's a treat. It is a real treat, and I really enjoy having an evening of quiet. I brought an excellent book to read, so after a little bit later tonight, after dinner, after I post this video, I'm going to be chilling out with a book with no distractions. It's going to be awesome. All right, so I've glued that down to I've glued the designer series paper down onto my Shamrock, and now I'm going to glue that to the front of the black card base. So this card is landscape, not portrait. And I usually do a portrait card, but once in a while, I get a little wild and crazy, and I'll do a landscape card. So I'm just gluing that into the middle of the front of my card base. Now I'm going to glue my black square onto my Shamrock square. And remember, this one is 3 by 3, and this is 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, so it's just a wee bit smaller than the Shamrock. I'm going to scribble my glue on. That's right, I'm a glue scribbler. And I'm going to just glue that onto my Shamrock. Now, I've got a piece of basic white, another square, and that is 2.5 by 2.5, and I'm going to glue that on the front. And this one I've already pre-stamped with the Sweet Peas Grumpy Little Pea. Isn't that just the adorable? So adorable, this little stamp. I confess, I bought the Sweet Peas stamp set literally for this grumpy looking pea. And I honestly don't know how many cards I can send out to grumpy people, but trust me, if you're having a bad day and you're cranky and I notice it, you're probably gonna get one of these cards. He's just so cute. All right, so I colored this grumpy little pea with the Shamrock blends, and I blended a little bit of Pool Party just behind for a background, and I used Smoky Slate to make some ground so he's not just floating, because I think that looks bizarre. And then just for the sentiment, it's Hello Grumpy. It's just so funny. And I've just traced over the words with the Shamrock blends. So the next thing I'm going to do is grab my trusty tear and tape, because I'm going to add some ribbon to this layer. So I like to just put the layer on the back to hold my ribbon in place so it's not loose and moving around. Oops, I dropped that. And then I don't want to cover this grumpy little pea with the ribbon, so I'm going to just fold my ribbon in half, and then I'll make sure that I've got equal bits of ribbon on the edge so I can tie a bow right at the edge of that little square. So this ribbon that I'm using, I'm very sure is retired, but I know we have another black and white gingham ribbon. It's just a little bit wider. That is available in the annual catalog. I'm just not sure how much bigger it is. But I've decided I gotta use up some of my stash. I've got a lot of embellishments and ribbon kicking around that has retired and I haven't used up yet. So this is gonna be my new project going forward. I'm going to try to use up some of my ribbons and embellishments that are no longer active or available, I should say. All right, so what I really like about this ribbon is it's pretty easy to manipulate. I just want to make that one bow a little bit smaller. So I'm going to hold down the knot and just gently pull the opposite tail. There we go. All right, just like so, and I'm going to trim the edges and just at a little bit of an angle. And then somewhere in my stash, I brought some mini dimensionals, and I did that because I knew that I wasn't going to have very much room once I put the ribbon down, and I typically don't like to put dimensionals on fabric. I like them to stick right onto the cardstock, so the minis work really well for this. All right, so I'm gonna put on, I guess 9, because I don't want this middle piece to sag. And then I'm gonna grab my little handy take your pick tool just to quickly pull the backings off these dimensionals. It's so handy, so handy. All right. So while I am away at work in the evenings, I've got some plans. I have designed all the projects for the June Seaside Wishes card class at home. So everything's designed. The tutorials are written, and I just need to, I guess, get it out there. So if you're on my email list, I'm going to be sending an email out in the next day or two. And it's going to have some information on the Seaside Wishes June card class at home. So now I've got all the backings off the dimensionals, and I'm just going to pop this up in the middle. And just going to line it up. I'm standing up, so my voice probably got louder because I just want to make sure that I am right in the middle before I commit. Perfect. And I'm going to, oh, actually, I'm going to put in the inside piece. So I cut a piece of basic white, 5 1/4 by 4. I pre-stamped it with some of the greenery. Maybe it's called pea shoots, but from the pea plant, I guess. I pre-stamped those. I've colored them in with Shamrock, and I'm just going to add that to the inside of the card, because when you're using a black card base, you're going to need some lighter cardstock on the inside so you can write on it. Unless you have like a white marker, I guess, that shows up on the black cardstock. You could do that too. All right. Excuse me. So there's the inside. And the last thing I want to do for this adorable grumpy little card is add some Shamrock shimmer gems. So yes, the Seaside Wishes card class at home is designed. If you are on my email list, I'll be sending out an email in either tonight or tomorrow, depending how busy I get tonight, and it'll have all the details about that class. The Seaside Wishes card class at home is for Canadian customers simply because it's product based and I can't sell to markets outside of Canada. But if you are watching and you live in any other country, don't worry, because I do free classes every month that is available for everybody. So you can catch my free class, which happens to be the sweet peas. I'll be using that stamp set. And I brought my catalog so I could show you the stamp set, but I forgot to dig it out of my suitcase. So anyway, it's super cute. Here is tonight's grumpy little card. And I made a sample with a different stamp from the same set. And similar, I just happened to trace over part of the sentiment. And then I did the peas in Shamrock, and I did the pea pod in Granny Apple Green. And oops, there's my measurements. I'm busted. That's how I keep track of all the measurements. And then the inside, I did the leaves in the Granny Apple Green as well. So I hope you like this video. I hope you like this card design. Let me know if you make it. Show me what you make. And if you're watching on replay, well, I guess everybody will be watching on replay since I can't do live, but say hello. Tell me where you're from. I hope everybody has a really good night, and I will definitely see everybody live next Monday. Thanks so much for tuning in.